Hello, and welcome to this week's Campus News Update. I'm Colleen McCormick.
And I'm Courtney Gear. On this week's update, we hear about which possible businesses coming to Quincy QU students are most excited for, and Quincy University's concert choir performs in the Big Apple. Topping our news this week, citizens of Quincy were shocked this weekend when a 12-year-old boy was shot and killed on 5th Street. The victim, Ray Humphrey, was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead after a gunshot wound to the head. Humphrey had been outside a friend's home waiting to be picked up around 1 a.m. Saturday morning. An arrest has not yet been made, and Quincy police are still searching for the shooter. Quincy University security encourages students to be on the lookout for anything suspicious on campus and to contact their office anytime. In response to the shooting, the city of Quincy is making efforts to tackle gun violence in the area. Although the campus is located a distance away from the shooting, students off campus should be aware of the area. Sam Lathrop, the head of security on campus, reminds people that the firearms are not the main issue. Anyone with concealed carry should be responsible for their weapon. QU has recently put up no firearm signs on the entrances to all the buildings on the main and north campuses. They also hope students feel comfortable reporting any suspicious activity to the security office.
Last week, several members of QU's choir traveled to New York City. The students spent several days exploring the Big Apple, but the main reason for the trip was the chance to sing at Carnegie Hall with several other college choirs. Junior Cameron Walker felt that the experience was a dream.
And the fact that I get to do this in college is just absolutely astonishing to me, and it's something that I'm going to be able to talk about for the rest of my life and that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life.
Students who went hope that this can be an experience that the choir can do again in the future. Last weekend, Quincy University crowned a new Mr. GQ. The event was hosted by the Alpha Omicron Pi sorority, with proceeds from the event going to support the research of juvenile arthritis. During the event, 7 male students participated in games, questions, and a talent contest in order to take home the title of Mr. GQ. We talked with winner Matthew Sindelar about his experience in the competition.
QU was overrun by professional singers last week. At least, that's what they wanted you to believe. At the Student Government Association lip-syncing competition last weekend, students took the stage and lip-synced along with their favorite songs. Winners were determined by applause from students in the audience, and contestants were rewarded for their performance with various prizes.
Rumors, some confirmed and some not, are floating around Quincy about potential new businesses. Chain restaurants Golden Corral and Chick-fil-A may be making their way here. Steak and Shake is going to have a comeback in a new location, and St. Louis pizza joint Emo's Pizza is rumored to be extending to Quincy, as well as Chicago's Windy City Steak and Lemonade. We asked students around campus which they are most excited for.
Hands down, wings up, Chick-fil-A. Golden Corral, because it's all you can eat. And then Chick-fil-A, because everyone loves Chick-fil-A. Then Emo's wouldn't be bad, because I'm not a fan of it, but it's not something I don't hate getting.
I'm excited for Chick-fil-A because I ate there for the first time over winter break, and it was really, really good.
Steak and Shake. Well, really, I don't know any of the other ones, so Steak and Shake's my pick.
Golden Corral, because it's amazing, and I mean, we need another buffet. The only thing we got right now is Best Buffet that I know of.
I'm not really excited for any restaurants because I think we're fine the way we are, and we need to bring in more locally owned businesses.
Most excited for Windy City Steak and Lemonade, just mostly because I've never heard of it before and I've never tried it.
We'd like to know your thoughts on which restaurant should plant roots in Quincy. Check out the poll on our Facebook page to weigh in.
Springtime means it's time to start applying for the campus housing for next year. Students are able to apply for housing beginning Tuesday, April 7th after 12 p.m. You will receive an email from Quincy Residence Life prior to the 7th, which will contain exact instructions on how to use the system. Make sure to fill out your application and submit it before Friday, April 17th at 12 p.m. Students will be given a housing selection order and time on Wednesday, April 22nd after 12 p.m. QU Res Life will also email students to remind them of their selection time. Official selection dates are Tuesday, April 28th, Wednesday, April 29th, and Thursday, April 30th. Friday, May 1st is when applications reopen for those students that did not participate in the housing selection. Remember, with this information comes a new opportunity for student organizations. Student groups will be given the opportunity to apply to create a residential themed community. This means students can be grouped together based on a common program or interest. The deadline for this application is April 10th, and it is posted on the QU Residence website.
QUTV has a number of original programs airing on Channel 97, one of which is the car-themed show Jacked Up Garage, produced by QUTV's Randy Swope and Jack Jones. Joining us now is Stephen Philippi, co-host of Jacked Up Garage, to talk a little bit more about the upcoming show.
Well, thanks, guys. Thanks so much for having me here today. And you know, we had a great show last week. We got to show our viewers how to change their oil. And you know, it's oftentimes that viewers will take their car over to a mechanic so they could have their oil changed. But honestly, it's a pretty expensive endeavor. So we showed them how to do that themselves, and we just had a great time on Jacked Up Garage. This week, we're going to be talking about all things with tires. So we're going to be talking about where to find your spare tire. That's going to be underneath your car or on the side, wherever you can find that tire. We're also going to be talking about tire tread and how you can tell if your tire tread is at a healthy level. And we're also actually going to be showing you how to change your car. Have either of you two changed a tire before?
I have not.
Me neither.
So I'll have to catch that. That's next Friday, is
Yes,
that correct?
that's next Friday. That should be April 10th. So make sure you guys don't miss it. We're going to have a blast on Jacked Up Garage.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Stephen.
When we come back, we'll have a look into your sunny Easter forecast. Stay with us.
QUTV is more than a news outlet.
1 in 5 undergrads work at least 35 hours a week year-round.
Students involved with QUTV learn life lessons, create lasting memories, and gain the experience needed to succeed in future careers.
Students need to be involved with QUTV as a viewer or as a participant because we need to know what's going on around our campus.
Knowledge is powerful, and QUTV News serves to inform not only the students, but the Quincy University community as a reliable and powerful news network.
Thanks. Welcome back. We've had an up and down forecast the past week, seeing rain one day and 60-degree temperatures the next.
And it looks like we'll be holding true to that old saying that April showers do in fact bring May flowers for this Easter forecast. Allison Malone has the latest. Allison?
Thanks, Courtney. This is Allison again with your weekly forecast, and we're going to get started. On Friday, April 3rd, it's going to be 54 degrees, and we have an Easter theme going on this weekend. As you see the dancing bunny, it's going to be 54 degrees with some April showers going on. So it should be a semi-nice day leading up to Saturday, which is going to be 64 degrees, a beaming sun. It's going to be a nice day. Maybe get your early cooking going on, barbecue, early cooking going on for Easter. And then on Sunday, it's going to be a nice 70 degrees. It's going to be Easter that day. So hopefully everybody enjoys their Easter. Maybe have an Easter hunt with the kids, enjoy a barbecue, nice day out. Then starting on Monday, it's going to be 70 degrees with a cloudy day. So it's still going to be cloudy, a little gloomy, but we're still going to have nice weather going on. It's going to be quite a warm day. And then on Tuesday, it's going to be 72 degrees, went up a couple degrees. It's going to be cloudy once again. We also have a double header for men's baseball games at 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock. So make sure you guys go out and support. And then on Wednesday, it's going to be 63 degrees with a thunderstorm. So once again, April showers are coming right back up. And then on Thursday, it's going to be 57 degrees, a little cold, cloudy, but we also have a men's volleyball game going on that day. So make sure you go out, support your men's volleyball team. And that is it for your weekly forecast. Back to you guys.
Although Allison gave us a pretty calm weather forecast for the upcoming week, we are still in severe weather season, and that means for a potential tornado in the Quincy area. Just 2 years ago, we experienced some severe weather here in Quincy. In 2013, a tornado touched down in Hannibal. Not knowing what direction it was heading towards, Quincy University and the city of Quincy took cover. Fortunately, it did not hit Quincy, but it is important to know how the university handles weather emergencies.
Well, that's actually one of the easiest procedures in that you would go to the lowest level of the building that you're in and stay away from glass windows. So, for example, if you were in Francis Hall, going to the lowest level of Francis.
Remember, it is important to take cover by crouching as low as possible to the floor, facing down, and cover your head with your hands. When we come back, we'll have the latest weird news from around the web in this week's Hawkward segment.
And baseball season is in full swing. We'll have an update in sports when we come back.
Yes. Growing up, I had one deaf friend, and that was the only deaf person I knew before coming to school here at QU. And now I regularly get to hang out and socialize with the deaf community, which has been awesome. Sign language isn't exactly like learning another spoken language because you use your body, facial expressions, your hands are your instruments. So it is definitely learning a new language. It has its own grammar and syntax and everything. It's not exactly like English like a lot of people think it is.
Welcome back. We have major highlights coming from the men's QU Hawks volleyball team.
And more on our winning men's Hawks baseball team from over the weekend. QUTV's Andrew McCulloch has the latest in sports. Andrew?
We've had a busy week at sports, so let's get right to the action. The QU men's volleyball team welcomed number 4 ranked Clark University to Pepsi Arena. Coach Foster's team looked to exact revenge on the Crusaders after losing to them on January 20th. But could the Hawks ride a great game, a career night, from junior Brian Rogan? We've got the action right here from Pepsi Arena. First, we're going to have a Who Wore It Better contest. We've got Chris Chappelle and a great QU fan with great mustaches. I think I'm going to go with the fan. Jared Kelso looking to get a nice picture taken of him, send it to a nice professional team maybe. But here we've got Clark University with the first strike. Thane Fanfield can't quite get the dig on that one. And we've got more Clark University right here, as it's going to be Ian Lawson doing his best impersonation of the Matrix, but not quite getting there. The Hawks would strike back, though. Jared Kelso with the hammer. It's hammer time. You can't touch this. The QU Hawks win this game by a final score of 3-1. Brian Rogan with 17 kills and 3 aces. Jared Kelso with 14 kills and 2 blocks. The Quincy University Hawks are now 12-9 on the season. The Hawks softball team, the Lady Hawks softball team that is, has struggled as of late. They've lost their last 6 of 7 games. But Coach Obert's team would look to break out of that slump against Missouri S&T. They travel there, play a doubleheader. Missouri S&T has had their struggles this season. They went into this game 1-17, and the Lady Hawks would be able to win this, both games that is. First game, they'd go on an offensive downpour, win it by a final of 12-3. Second game, they'd win 10-2 thanks to Alana Viken going 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs and Murphy Armstrong pitching a strong game. 6 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, and only giving up 2 earned runs. Now, Josh Raby's Quincy University men's baseball team has been playing great as of late, and they would go down to Kansas City to play Rockhurst in a span of 2 days. They'd play 4 games. They wouldn't just win 1, 2, or 3 games. They'd win all 4. They would sweep Rockhurst, and they would be now 15-6 on the season. David Jacob, 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs. The pride and joy of Quincy Notre Dame, Brandon Lee, with 6 innings pitched, 2 strikeouts and 2 earned runs, and now the Quincy University Hawks are 15-6 on the season. Let's transition from the college level to the pros. It's opening night, and the Chicago Cubs are hosting the St. Louis Cardinals at Wrigley Field. Now, the St. Louis Cardinals have made the postseason 4 seasons in a row, and they're looking to add on to that number. The Cubs are on the opposite end of the spectrum. They haven't made the playoffs since 2008 and have been retooling their team. But with the addition of guys like John Lester, the Cubs are looking up, and they look to contend with the Cardinals, who have Adam Wainwright, who led the team with 20-9 record with 2.38 ERA, and Anthony Rizzo looking to lead, maybe bring a little more leadership to the team this season. He batted .286 with 32 home runs and 78 RBIs. And I know all of you sports fans will be tuning into that game. And make sure you tune in to QUTV Sports next week, where we'll be asking students who they think is going to win the World Series this year. But for now, this is QUTV Sports. I'm Andrew McCulloch, and I'm going to send it back to the ladies at the news desk.
Thanks, Andrew. Right now we have Randy Swope joining us for this week's Hawkward Moments from Around the Web. Randy?
Thanks, Courtney, and welcome to this week's Hawkward segment, where we bring you the craziest stories from around the web. So let's get started. It looks like our first Hawkward story is about the search for the 4 a.m. slushie. A 4-year-old Philadelphia girl slipped out of her house at 3 in the morning in pouring rain and got on a transit bus in a search for a snack. The bus driver claims that the little girl kept chanting, "All I want is a slushie," as she swung her legs on the bus bench while chanting with the other passengers. The driver stopped the bus, called the police, and the little girl was taken to the hospital where she was reunited with her mother. Officials do not plan on filing charges on this bus bandit, but authorities are saying that no one realized the girl had unlocked the back door and slipped out until it was too late. This gives a whole new meaning to the idea of midnight munchies. And maybe next time, put a bell on the back door. Awkward. From slushies to searchers to a catmobile, take a look at this. A photo of a cat perched on a hood of a moving SUV has gone viral as Ohio police search for a catmobile's driver. It turns out that the cat in the photo was actually tied to the hood of a vehicle. And it gets worse. The cat was apparently secured on the hood of the 4-door Buick SUV with a leash. No one actually jotted down the car's license plate, but it is clear that this whole situation violates many animal cruelty laws. According to witnesses, many of them had to take a double take to make sure they were actually seeing a cat riding on a hood. And all of them were outraged by the poor cat's balancing act. Authorities are still searching for the driver of the SUV, but we think maybe it's time to call the Humane Society for the poor frightened feline. At least the car it was tied to wasn't a Jaguar. Awkward! Sticking with our animal theme, it turns out that Portland has solved the mystery of the pink chickens. It turns out that chickens owners Bruce Whitman told Animal Services that he used food coloring, beet juice, and Kool-Aid to dye the birds to, quote, make people smile. With Whitman tucked the 2 chickens into a tree to roast in a waterfront park as a prank. But they steadily became poultry celebrities. It turned out Animal Services billed him $16 per bird for their time in custody and cautioned him about the threat of releasing them into public spaces. Whitman did say he probably won't release the chickens back into the public, but he and the birds have been invited to a couple of parades. This story sure has us smiling, even though it looks like the pink chickens did ruffle some feathers. We just wonder if these chickens will lay pink eggs from now on. Hawkward. Well, that's all we have for this week's episode on Hawkward. As always, tune in next week for more wacky and weird stories from around the web. Till then, I'm sending it back to the news desk.
Thanks, Randy. Andrew joins us now at the desk, and on this Easter Sunday, Major League Baseball kicks off with a big Cardinals-Cubs matchup.
That's right, Colleen. Big matchup, big rivalry, Cubs and Cardinals. As a Cubs fan, it's nice to actually have a team that might contend this year. I don't know. We'll see. But I know you're a big Cardinals fan.
I'm a huge Cardinals fan, and I am very excited to get back to Cardinals baseball. Cardinals Nation all the way. Well, that's it for this week. Remember, as always, to tune in online on Facebook or on Channel 97 on campus for more news anytime. For the entire QUTV team, I'm Colleen McCormick.
And I'm Courtney Gear. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again next week.